Hi guys, it's me, Mario. Today we're going to continue Hawkite, Arrow of the Air. How y'all doing today? Hope you're doing well. Today we're going to continue with Chapter 3, The Painted Truth. The villagers shuffled towards them. Storm backed away, shaking his mane. Tom grabbed hold of the stallion's reins. Before villagers spilled out of their houses, Tom narrowed his eyes as he looked at them. He knew desperate people were capable of desperate acts. Soon Tom and Elena were surrounded. Several of the villagers were staring at Storm and Silver with hungry eyes. They looked as if they would kill and eat both animals, given half a chance. Look what the wind's blown in, a man's voice called from somewhere at the back of the crowd. The villagers shuffled closer. Skinny hands reached out. Storm flinched and Tom vaulted out of his saddle. "We've come to help you," he said into the silence. "No one can help us," said the man who had spoken first. The crowd murmured in agreement and stepped closer to Tom and Elena. "Make way!" shouted a quivering voice somewhere at the back of the crowd. "Out of my way now!" Muttering, the villagers drew back. Tom saw a shriveled old woman in a bright purple dress pushing through to the front. The fabric hung in empty folds over her bony frame. Her sunken eyes burned instantly at Tom, as if she recognized him from somewhere. She shuffled towards Tom and Elena. From the way the villagers bowed their heads respectfully, Tom guessed she was the chief of the village. Come, the old woman said in a cracking voice. "You are welcome and under my protection." She seized Tom and Elena with a surprising firm grip. The villagers broke apart and returned to their brightly colored homes. Tom glanced back over his shoulder as the old woman dragged them towards her house. He caught several resentful stares. They had clearly made enemies in this stricken place. Holding tightly to Storm's reins, Tom let the old lady pull them onwards. He knew they should be grateful for her help. "Come this way." The old woman kept glancing back at Tom and Elena, smiling. "Not for now." Tom and Elena stared a glance. "I hope we're doing the right thing," Elena whispered. Tom hoped so too, but what choice did they have? They couldn't stay with those desperate villagers. And here is the old woman. Focus. Focus. It's not focusing. The old woman leading Tom and Elena with their animals away from the villagers. Tom and Elena shared a glance. "I hope we're doing the right thing," Elena whispered. Tom hoped so, too. But what choice did they have? They couldn't stay with those desperate villagers. The old woman's house was at the end of the village. A small stable stood behind the little thatched dwelling. The old woman urged Tom to stable Storm. "He will be safe, my dear, safe as can be," and then pushed him through the door of her cottage. Elena and Silver followed, ducking beneath the overhanging thatch. Inside the cottage was dark and warm, and a pitifully thin cruel bubbled over the heath. Tom frowned as he looked at their host. How much should he tell her about their quest? "Speak," said the old woman calmly. "You search for something, don't you?" "You search for something, don't you?" Helena gasped. "How did you... Tom was startled too. "Yes," he said at last, realizing that he had no choice but to trust her. "A ring. We think it is here in the village. Do you know where it might be?" It seemed an impossible question. If anyone in this village knew the whereabouts of a precious ring, they would have sold it to buy food by now. But Tom's quest meant he needed to find out. "Of course," the old woman nodded. "In the painting." Tom glanced at Elena. Elena shook her head, looking as confused as Tom felt. "What painting?" Come," said the old woman, moving towards the ladder in the corner of the room. Tom and Elena followed, Silver lying on the floor, waiting for them to return. At the top of the ladder was a dusty attic room. Cobwebs strobed between the beams like vials, and at the far end hung an ugly yellow sheet. Elena glanced at Tom and raised her eyebrows. "That's no painting," she murmured in a low voice. The old woman took the corner of the sheet and pulled it aside with a flourish. A large picture was revealed, propped up against the wall, painted on what looked like silk. The picture showed a boy and a girl. Tom stared in shock. Thoughts whirled through his head. The boy had brown hair, a sword, and a shield. Oh, excuse me. The girl had a quiver and arrows on her back. But it was impossible. They looked just like him and Elena. Tom looked more closely. The boy held his sword in his left hand, and Tom was right-handed. Apart from that, the resemblance was uncanny. Tom reached cautiously towards the painting. He ran his fingers down the boy's arm until he reached his hand. Tom started as a second wave of shock hit him. The boy was holding a ring in his right hand, and the ring was dripping with water. The boy's eyes seemed to seek out Tom's, challenging him. The ring. The old woman was nodding and smiling at him encouragingly. Gathering his wits, Tom looked at Elena. "Do you see that?" he said, pointing at the ring. It's dripping water, Helena murmured, frowning. Then the two of them cried out at the same time. The pond! The painting was telling them the magic ring's hiding place. Come on, Tom said, running back towards the ladder. We found what we were looking for then. That was the old woman, not Tom or Elena. You found what you were looking for then, the woman called after them as Tom climbed into the top rungs of the ladder. Yes, thank you, he said, before scrambling down to a waiting Silver. There was no time to lose. He was certain that the magic ring was hiding in the sapphire blue water of the village pond. Before Tom could run out of the house, the old woman climbed stiffly down the ladder and put a bony hand on his shoulder. It's you, isn't it? She said. A feverish look came into her eyes. The boy from the painting. You've come to us at last. Tom gently took her hand and shook his head. I'm sorry, he said. It looks like me, but I don't see how it can be. We must go now. Helena was right. Behind him... Helena was right behind him, and Silver yapped impatiently at her heels. Tom raced for the door, and out into the bright daylight he had to find the ring, before any of the villagers do. And here is Tom studying the painting the old woman revealed to them. And that was chapter 3. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this chapter of Beast Quest. Hawkite, Arrow of the Air. And I also hope you like, comment, and subscribe. Hooray for all of you people that have subscribed recently. I am really nervous, if you couldn't tell. More than 100 people are watching my channel now. Hooray. I'm happy about it, but you know, I have anxiety, so I don't have I don't know. I'm kinda nervous. Kinda not. My channel's more slow growing than others. Yeah. But, you know, it's an awesome thing that people come here and listen to me read for 10 minutes. But, yeah. Hope you like my readings so far. I will do hopefully more in the future. It's been a while since the last 2 videos, so not sure. Depends on my mood. But yeah, hope you guys like, subscribe, hit the bell if you guys are interested in more Beast Quest videos. And maybe some more dragons for the Great Dragon Book. I'm actually planning on doing more things with the Dragonians of Dragania. Like giving them different looking bodies and different culture altogether. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you whenever I make 2 more. Right. See ya.